All right, so it looks like there's trouble in paradise for the Paul brothers, and once again, Logan Paul is getting exposed for being a selfish egomaniac, and you know it's bad when everybody's sympathizing with Jake and taking his side on this. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody defend Logan here. Even Mike Malak seemed to take Jake's side, because Logan, of course, just has to make everything about himself. Like, this man can't go a few hours without being the center of attention, and if he doesn't get what he wants, then he throws a temper tantrum, and he turns it into some giant thing. Like, Jake Paul's fight against Nate Diaz recently happened, and you know it's supposed to be a big moment for Jake, but of course Logan has to make it all about him. Like, he can never just sit back and relax and think, you know what, this isn't about me tonight. If things aren't going how I want them to, it's fine, because I'm just here to be a supportive brother. I don't always have to get what I want. But instead, he has to make a big deal about how he couldn't bring a prime bottle into the event. And you could see how manipulative he is here when he was talking about it with Jake on his podcast right after the fight. You know, Logan was crying about it. He's like, dude, we're brothers. You can't do this to me. You got to help me out here. And Jake's like, dude, it wasn't my decision. It was the company hosting the event. You should understand. And since they're brothers, how about Logan goes one night without making the whole thing about him? You know, he can go one night without promoting his shitty drink. And also, it seems like Logan only talks about them being brothers and on the same team and them being in this together when it benefits him, when he can use Jake to his advantage. But then when it doesn't help him at all, then it's like, oh, we're separate people, you know, I'm doing my own thing, you can't be holding me back at all. And Jake actually does call him out on this later in the podcast, which we'll get to. But first, I just want to play the clip where Logan's talking about the whole situation with the prime bottle.
Said I would get kicked out if I brought a prime bottle. Ridiculous, dude. Do you think I would ever ban you from promoting any of your shit at any of my events? That's ridiculous.
Wait, that's because of who the partner, the competing partner was
Marcos
for the event.
Texted us 4 times with stipulations listed out, paragraphs.
Yeah, get over it. Like, and meanwhile,
come on, I'm your brother building a
oh
business.
yeah, you're my brother. What do you mean?
Well,
what do you mean?
Well, you can't tell me what to wear.
Logan.
Yeah, but if
Mike,
they're paying
chill,
us,
chill.
if they're paying us,
chill.
if they're paying us millions of dollars, and they say, hey, but we don't want this person to be doing this stuff at the event with a competing brand.
That's ridiculous. I couldn't bring in a prime bottle.
Man, Logan just sounds like such a spoiled brat. He's crying about how he didn't get free advertising at this event that's not even about him. Like, you don't need to be there, dude. And of course, he showed up in his WWE outfit like he had no time to change. So it's like he always has to be the center of attention, and he always has to get what he wants. You know, it's pretty clear why they wouldn't want him bringing that bottle. And Jake really has nothing to do with it. I mean, the event is sponsored by, I think, Celsius, which is a competitor. So it's pretty obvious why they wouldn't want Logan on the screen waving around a prime bottle. And even Mike can understand that. But of course, when he pushes back on Logan for once, Logan tells him to shut up, because Logan's just used to everyone agreeing with him, because he has to be surrounded by yes men. Whenever somebody has a different opinion than him, then they get kicked out of the group, like George.
That's the brands getting involved. I have no say in that. I don't give a fuck. But if they request something and they're paying millions of dollars to be the title sponsor.
But the request is this: your brother can't bring a prime bottle into the stadium, and if he does, he will be escorted out by security.
You wouldn't be escorted out.
That's ridiculous.
But you have a prime card coming up soon. Obviously,
so
as
why
you
do you
just
care
said.
so much about
who I see every single day?
At whose
have
event?
An issue with it.
At whose event?
Your event.
Exactly. My event.
I'm your brother.
Yeah, exactly. So respect what's going on at my event.
And I did.
Okay.
I thought it was ridiculous.
Okay, but that's just the name of the game. It's business.
And you have a prime card coming up. If you walked in with a Celsius headband to it, you probably would say that's unacceptable.
I don't give a fuck. You're getting paid millions of dollars by Celsius. Yeah, they're our competitor, but like, dude, come on. We're all,
but
we're all
if you
doing
but
something
but
here.
but
But
if you request it, if it's different because I'm not in control.
The stadium thing rubbed me the wrong way. But do you get
Well,
what I'm
rightfully
saying?
so. Rightfully so, because if there was a #1 sponsor, like let's say Nike was sponsoring the event and was like, hey, Logan's going to be on camera, can he not wear Adidas? Then it wouldn't piss you off.
From a business standpoint, that makes sense, Logan. It does. The person that's going to get the most attention in the arena besides Jake is you, showing up to the fight.
My identity is my identity. My
but you can
pursuits and passions and businesses.
But you can certainly press pause on it for one night to just support Jake and then walk out.
Yeah,
and I understand that,
and I absolutely will.
And you did.
But do you see what I'm saying? Is anything I'm doing hurting you?
That sometimes, yes, it causes issues because of my brand partner. Yes.
And Logan just sounds so cringy here, talking about how it's part of his identity. Like he has to have this bottle with him 24/7. Like, dude, you can go one night without waving around your stupid drink. But he's just so used to getting what he wants. He cannot handle the fact that not everything has to be about him. Like once in a while, you can just be like, all right, I understand it's not going how I want it to, but this isn't about me. This is my brother's event. I don't need to try to promote a product or make money off of it. I'm just here to support my brother. But of course, he can't do that, and he has to turn it into all this drama and make a big deal about it. And I bet one of the main reasons he's doing this is so now he could promote Prime, like use the fact that they didn't let him promote it at the event to now promote it. Because like I said, it's all about business for him, even if it's at Jake's expense and it's turning into this giant fight between them, and it seems pretty serious. It doesn't matter. All he cares about at the end of the day is making money. And it's crazy how manipulative and hypocritical Logan is, because right after he got done arguing with Jake about how he should have let him bring the Prime bottle to the event, even though Jake really had nothing to do with it, it wasn't his decision. And right after that, he did a complete 180 and started talking about how they're separate people and they can't always be catering to each other's needs. So this man is just ridiculous.
And I'll always be a ride or die, no matter what. But I don't know if I always have to yield and bend my personal ways because we are brothers and that's the sole reason.
But this is exactly what I'm saying. You're literally painting the picture of you are playing both sides.
I
when
disagree.
when it's convenient
you're
for
making
you,
faulty comparisons.
but when it's convenient for you, we're brothers. But then when it's not, you do the exact opposite of like, but we're completely separate. So like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do as well.
I'm building a business.
But that's what I'm saying. You play both sides like very well, like extremely well.
To me, it doesn't feel like I'm playing both sides. And maybe that's why you're saying I do it extremely well, is because that's just the reality of the situation. And people can see that both sides. You're Jake Paul. I'm Logan Paul. We are different people. We have different interests. We have different friends.
But then like, but even
pursuits,
just 15 minutes ago, then all of a sudden you're like, but we're brothers.
and we are brothers. That sentence can end with "and we are brothers." Yes.
But where does that rank? Because sometimes you let it rank down here, and
think-
sometimes you want it to be number one when it's convenient for you.
When
Prime can't go into the building, we're brothers. When you want to partner with Dana White and KSI, you're your own entity.
I think when we as brothers no longer become additive to each other, and it feels like you or I are trying to take from one another, and I don't believe I've ever tried to take from you, whereas you, I feel like, have tried to take from me. At least maybe not you, but maybe your team. That's when I feel
But
like it falls apart.
like this being in Netflix documentary, like millions of views, me starting the documentary saying I'm drinking Prime, me posting about Prime as soon as it launched, carrying it around everywhere with me until I got a deal.
No, and I appreciate.
So it's
I
like,
appreciate
I
all
don't-
of it.
Yeah, so it's just never enough for Logan. Like Jake said, it sounded like he was promoting his drink like crazy, and then just one event he can't promote it at, and it's the end of the world. And it's wild to hear Jake be the mature one here. You know, like everybody's taking his side because Logan just sounds completely unreasonable. And of course, he is 100% playing both sides. Like when it benefits him, then they're brothers, they're on the same team. But then when it hurts him or takes away from something he's doing, then they're separate people. They need to understand that they can't always be helping each other. And it's crazy because it seems like Jake has a good understanding of where that middle ground is. Like when he was on Andrew Tate's live stream, Andrew asked him about KSI always talking shit about him, and he's like, how do you feel about that? Since Logan's partners with him, don't you think you'd tell him to tone it down a bit? And Jake's like, yeah, it's not great, but I understand it's business and he's got to do his thing.
But I just thought I was just curious about that, because when KSI is running his mouth to you, I'm like, why is Logan not punching him in the face? What the
Yeah, business, I guess, is business. It is weird. It puts me in a weird spot because, like, I don't know how to feel about it. I personally don't like it because it's like, here's this guy that constantly is dragging me down, constantly jumping at every opportunity to pull me down and to defame me and to say anything bad about me. And then my brother's like acting like he's best friends with them. And then even when people ask, like, oh, you know, they asked Logan, like, oh, who would you pick in the fight? And Logan's like, oh, I don't know. That would be tough for me. Like, no, it's really not. Like,
Wait. So
and
when you ask,
he eventually says, like, well, I would have to pick Jake, but he plays both sides definitely. And it does get annoying, but it's like, I also respect his hustle as an entrepreneur and as a businessman because he created this multi-billion-dollar company now with his enemy, and I can't hate on that. I want my brother to accomplish his goals, and I'm happy for him, and he's so successful and doing amazing, and to me, I'm just proud of him. I'm proud to be related to him. I'm happy for him, but definitely it hurts me sometimes seeing that shit, for sure.
Yeah, so even though Jake's complaining about that, it seems like he's not really trying to expose Logan or call him out or throw him under the bus or anything. Like, he understands it's just business. But Logan, on the other hand, when he can't promote a Prime bottle at Jake's boxing match, even though Jake has nothing to do with it, then he acts like Jake's not a team player and he's being a shitty brother. So it's pretty clear at this point, Logan only cares about himself. And I think Jake realizes that. I think he's been holding out hope that Jake will respect him, but it seems like he's finally given up.
Team, we did this together. We started our YouTube channel together, and basically, like off camera, he was basically like, no, like I never respected you when we were kids. And
yeah, that's fucking terrible.
And like I thought you were a failure and all this shit, and I was just like, so you didn't even like respect me as a brother because I was always there for you and trained for sports with you and played with you in the woods and built forts together, and we were best friends, and I don't know what's going on right now, and now I'm just like lost.
But where's your breaking point? Like,
I think I'm there.
You watch the documentary.
I think I'm there.
You see,
and in the documentary, he was so condescending and still like undermining me the whole entire
you
time.
get on
I've always taken the higher road in 2017. Always take the higher road. Always don't try to say my case online.
There's some things you can't even say.
Yeah, and he drops diss track and take higher road. He does it, take higher road, take higher road, take higher road, and
He
like
fucks your girlfriend.
yeah, and exactly, and it's like, take higher road, don't expose that. Oh, now he wants to expose it himself. Okay, but I just don't even perpetuate it.
but it's a pattern. Do you not realize?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. I think I'm at the breaking point.
Imagine a person
like,
being
what do I
so
do?
sociopathic
I hate this shit.
that like they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna tell the world
This
I
is not
fucked
all
my brother's
worth-
girlfriend. Like
Yeah.
that's insane.
What's the takeaway
This
from
is
all of
fuck-
this? Like,
The takeaway is don't be famous, and fame and money. Money is the root of all evil. Actually, is the takeaway. People get lost.
But you guys are so far past like the.
But when you're so deeply like hurt and traumatized, and like you have such a big void of validation, nothing can fill it.
But like you've hit every.
That's why you find the
Pinnacle.
unhappy billionaire.
Yeah, and like I said, it's never enough for Logan, and it's pretty crazy that he has people sympathizing with Jake Paul. Like, that's how bad Logan is of a brother. But maybe they can work things out, or maybe they could fight each other. That would be good. But let me know what you guys think about it all down in the comments, and then make sure you go check out my Patreon account. There's a ton of content up there. I usually post a 20 to 30 minute video every week, and there's probably over 40 videos on there at this point about some of the cringiest Joe Rogan Experience episodes, about the downfall of Milo Yiannopoulos, the degeneracy of Ari Shaffir, the degeneracy of Adam 22, Kramer, Michael Richards' meltdown at the Laugh Factory, and I just posted a video about Patton Oswalt's apology for taking a picture with Dave Chappelle, which was hilarious, and I just posted one about FouseyTube's meltdown. So if you want to hear about any of that, go check out the Patreon account. I'll put a link in the description, and then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.